back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is the very first time you visited my channel, yay, you're here. I'm so glad you found me. My goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both watching a particular film. So the particular film I'm reviewing today is called Cordelia. This psychological drama opens in theaters and on demand on May 20th, 2022. It's rated R and is 92 minutes long. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked, didn't like, offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, movie recommendations, and interesting and funny lines if there are any. All right, so let's dive in. In a nutshell, this dark thriller features Cordelia, played by Antonia Campbell-Hughes, a young woman living in London who meets her mysterious and alluring neighbor, Frank, played by Johnny Flynn, for the very first time, but quickly becomes suspicious of his motives. With her twin sister away for the weekend, Cordelia is left alone and overcome with paranoia. She begins to unravel and sink back into past traumas the more that Frank tries to charm his way into her life, becoming a danger to herself and others. The film was directed by Adrian Shergold, who did Mad Dogs, Pierre Point, The Last Hangman, and Eureka Street, and written by Adrian Shergold and Antonia Campbell-Hughes. So I just mentioned she also stars in the movie. I always think it's really cool when an actor or actress gets involved in writing the movie itself, because there's a passion project embedded in that, isn't there? All right, so let me list the things that I really liked about the movie. First of all, as I mentioned, the cast includes Antonia Campbell-Hughes, and you might have seen her in 3096 Days or Queen Marie Antoinette in Dangerous Liaisons. She actually plays twins, and I'm a twin, so I'm always intrigued when twins are portrayed in movies. She gave a strong performance of a truly shattered soul, and she plays the very timid little mouse personality extremely well. She just looked so frightened, so fragile during the entire movie, except for when she's playing her twin, who's much more confident. But there's a reason for that. The cast also includes Johnny Flynn, as I mentioned. You might have seen him in Clouds of Sils, Maria, or The Beast. Also, the movie has Catherine McCormick. You saw her in Braveheart or Spy Game or 28 Weeks Later, along with cameo performances by Joel Fry. And he's such a likable character. He has been in The Earth, Yesterday, Cruella, among others, and Michael Gambon from Gosford Park and Harry Potter. And so it's fun to see him again. All right, so those are the things that I really liked about the movie. Some of the things I didn't like are that first, the movie is very slow moving with a pretty small payoff. I don't mind if movies start off slowly and start to build, and things do build, but again, not as much as I wanted to. In the end, there are just too many unanswered questions, and ultimately you don't care because the movie's kind of gone on for a long time without a whole lot happening. The music by Natalie Holt is way more eerie than the actual movie throughout. Now things get, crazy at the very, very end of the movie. It's hard to tell what's real and what's paranoia in some of the scenes. So let me give you some tips for parents. There is profanity, including F-bombs. There's full frontal nudity of a woman. Someone gets stabbed and you see lots of blood. Some of the themes that are illustrated very well in the movie are PTSD, trust, healing, secrets, and paranoia. Maybe I'll throw in self-confidence as another theme. So I always write down funny lines and interesting lines on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, but I didn't write down any funny lines. This is a serious drama. But I will share a couple of interesting lines with you. Antonia Campbell-Hughes, like I said, has no self-confidence. Something happened in her past that really shook her up, and she's just frightened by the world. And so she just kind of embraces that and disappears into the world, including her clothing, as opposed to her twin sister who, loves to wear all kinds of stuff. And so anyway, Cordelia says, "The way you dress tells people something about you. I'd forgotten that." and she kind of starts to develop some confidence when this neighbor shows some interest, like romantic interest in her. And then she says to a character, she says, "You're just the same as me, half living." And she recognizes that that's the existence that she is living, that she's not embracing life. She is frightened. And throughout pretty much the entire movie, really, there's a little glimmer of hope. And it's just painful to watch. For me, I wanted her to move on, and I wanted the movie to be more about second chances, and she's just still living in something that, granted, was terrible years ago, and she just can't move on, even though she has friends and family who are trying to help her and encourage her to move on. Anyway, I thought that the movie had some good ideas, but I also thought there were some missed opportunities. And overall, my movie review mom grade is a C. So another movie I want to recommend is a brand new one, actually, called Monstrous with Christina Ricci. And the movie starts off where she is fleeing with her son from another horrible thing that has happened. And she is trying to start a new life and have the movie about second chances and that kind of thing. And so she's paranoid, and she struggles with similar personality weaknesses, I guess you could call them. Anyway, and I thought that movie was fantastic. There's a twist, and in this one also, there's a twist. I love twists, but I thought the one in Monstrous was more powerful. And well, you'll have to watch my review on that one. I just liked that one a lot more than I liked this one. So I think that you'll like it. Anyway, check it out. Thank you so much for subscribing. And as always, come visit me over on my Facebook group called Movie Review Mom, as well as on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those other social media sites. And I even have my written review at moviereviewmom.com, like I mentioned. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I hope that if you watch this movie, you do enjoy it. And by the way, it takes place in England, and it's always fun just to walk the streets of England. I forgot to mention that. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.